spring?
Start class.
Christian, that move to corner, for the spring, when did you know that was going to happen, and how'd you take it, and how's it gone?
Yeah, so it happened like right when we came back after winter, because we had a lot of guys that were banged up from the season. So we had the corners that are out, obviously. So we had a missing spot. So I mean, I fulfilled it, or I'm fulfilling it right now. And I mean, you said how have I taken it?
How you handling it?
I mean, it's pretty. I feel like I've handled it pretty seamlessly. I really just look at it as opportunity, because we have a lot of guys out, obviously. So I just use it as an opportunity to better myself from the corner aspects of the game, because from playing safety before, I wasn't in a whole bunch of press man situations. So getting these reps in the spring are really useful, really valuable.
Eric,
where do you think you've grown the most here in the last 14 practices? Because it was new to you, and I would assume you got more comfortable last couple of weeks.
Where I've grown, really just confidence in yourself. I mean, obviously, I was confident coming into practice one, but after watching film and watching yourself succeed, on film and do good things, that confidence just naturally grows within yourself. So I would say the biggest thing is confidence, and that's the biggest thing or a very big thing at the corner position, just having that edge to yourself.
Christian, having spent a year at safety and now having worked at corner some, do you have one that you like the most, or is there, if you got your pick, where would you stay long term?
I mean, I wouldn't say I have a favorite, because both of them really have like their caveats to one another. Like corners, it's more mano-a-mano type. Like me versus you every single play type. Where at safety, you're able to get around the ball a little bit more, make more tackles, things like that. So I mean, I love playing both. I wouldn't say I have a favorite.
You mentioned press man. How difficult physically is it to play corner as opposed to safety?
Well, as far as physically different, I would say just getting winded, because you could play, it could be corner, and the coverage could call for you to have the number one receiver going deep 3 plays in a row. And then now it's first down, and they've rotated a receiver, and now it's a completely fresh guy coming in to run you deep again, possibly. So I would just say being in condition was the biggest difference for me.
We'll go Eric, and then Ben.
Now, there's not many of you guys over at corner this spring. Has there been a lot of those guys who have been banged up and out, like kind of coach you in the film room, on the sideline, and who are some of those guys?
Oh yeah, a ton of that. I would say every single guy that's hurt is just pouring into every corner that's out there, because I mean, obviously we are short-handed, and I'm relatively new to the position, so they are great. I mean, guys like Warren Burrell, Kamal Haddon, Deshaun Rucker, Tro Riley, they've been very important as far as my growth and becoming a better corner as the spring's progressed.
With Desmond Williams, just what have you seen from him this spring, and what's it been like for him to join you all and be in the room? Yeah, we love Des, man. Des a character. Des is an athlete, like a freak athlete at that. So Des is impressed. He's a new guy, so it takes everyone a second to adjust. But after a little bit to adjust, I mean, he's been perfectly fine, made the transition seamlessly.
Seems like he's got a big personality.
Yeah, he does. He does have a big personality. That's why we love Des, man. He's not afraid to show who he really is. I mean, he's a little bit of a quiet guy, but other than that, he's a great dude.
Vince and then Brent.
Christian, speaking of freak athletes, Jalen and Trayvon were complimenting you and said you're a freak athlete. Can you share some examples of maybe your athleticism, whether it's a recovery or making a play on the ball that you think have really helped you and been an advantage for you?
Yeah, I would just say, I mean, as far as like physical aspects go, I feel like I feel like I have good recovery speed. So as far as like being beat and being able to recover and make a play on the ball and just being able to change direction, which is all things that are imperative for anybody in the second level to be advantageous.
Christian, what do you think your best skills are as a corner? And if you're not playing corner in the fall, how will this experience this spring make you a better defensive back at a different position?
I think the biggest... One more time, I'm sorry. The first part of your question.
What do you think your best skill is as a corner?
Best skill, I would say being patient. Because being patient is a very important skill. And I would say I really developed that from playing safety and having to play off man so much. So that's what I think will help me carry over the best, being patient.
I know you're focused forward, focused on the present, but looking back to last season, you got that start against Missouri. It seemed like you were coming along, then you get hurt in that game and we're out for a few weeks. How tough was that? Did you feel like that was a poorly timed injury, that you were starting to build momentum and might have played more had you not gotten hurt in that game?
Yeah, well, I mean, every injury is a poorly timed injury, honestly. But, at a time like that, it was like the fourth play of the game I had gotten hurt. So, I mean, obviously, anybody would be disappointed in your first start to get hurt like that. But, I mean, I just used it as a chance to, since I couldn't physically be out there doing, like repping and things like that, I mean, mentally just trying to get my mind right and being able to come in every day and be locked in to meetings or just any information that I'm receiving. So that's really what I tried to do while I was hurt during that span.
If you do move back to safety in the fall or whenever, what's something you're going to take from this cornerback experience with you?
Once again, patience, being patient, and just trusting my eyes. Because playing corner, everything's about eyes and feet. So if I can have my eyes right, then moving back to safety will be seamless.
A number of the guys have talked about culture. Wondering from your perspective, in your words, how you describe how much that has improved with your football team. So much.
Culture, in my opinion, really just boils down to everybody doing what they're supposed to. What they're supposed to, and just having a camaraderie. That's the biggest difference, in my opinion. Just the camaraderie from our team. I can look to my left and my right and know that that's my brother, and I know him for real. So I think that would be the biggest thing. We all just became very close as a unit. We're able to hold each other more accountable, and that's a very big thing.
We just talked to Coach Martinez. He was pretty complimentary of Trayvon and Jalen and the leadership they provided for the defensive backs. How would you kind of view what they've done and sort of taken over from Theo and keeping the standards the way they are in that room?
Trey and Jalen are huge for our room. They're guys with tons of experience, obviously. So, they're guys that you can look to if you have questions on anything, and you can listen to them and really understand the fact that they know what they're talking about. Because they've lived it, they have the experience. So that'd be the biggest thing, just learning from them, from the experience that they have.
Eric,
All right, but quarterback in high school, how does that help you now playing defensive back?
I think now the biggest way it helps me is seeing route concepts. Being at corner, looking at number 2 while you're in your pedal and seeing what he's running could give you a big clue on what number 1's running. So I think that's the biggest thing, just seeing route concepts and timing of throws.
awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.